Today we're assembling a Patio L outdoor sauna kit in the beautiful interior Alaska. You'll see the full build in time lapse from start to finish, and also I'll share a few practical tips to make this build quicker and easier for you. The very first thing you want to do is unpack everything. Open all the boxes and spread all of the materials. This will make the build so much faster for you and easier when everything is laid out and you can clearly see which board goes where. Because we were building the sauna in the winter, we had to prep the area first. We had to chisel away ice, remove the snow, and heat the area because the temperatures were way below zero. The first build step was assembling the base frame of the sauna and securing it to the porch deck. You gotta make sure that your diagonals are square and then screwing each corner into the deck surface. If you don't actually have something solid to fasten into underneath, you'll need to figure out a way to temporarily secure the frame so your diagonals don't shift during the frame build. Next, we started assembling the walls. We installed the first two layers of ton and groove boards before adding the corner support. This step is fairly easy. Just make sure each ton and groove of the board is lined up with each other and hammer down each board until the gap is closed in. The kit did provide long screws to secure the boards together, ensuring that the structure is tight and sturdy and solid for you. After that, we installed the corner supports in every interior corner and added temporary braces to keep everything level as we build upward. About halfway through installing the ton and groove wall boards, we did remove the corner braces because they started getting in our way. At that point, the structure was strong enough though to stand on its own, so we did take them off. There is a ton and groove block provided in the kit to tap each board into its place. What we found out is a rubber mallet works best. But if you use a hammer, be very careful not to crack and split the boards. And believe me, it can happen. One nice thing about this kit is that almost all the boards are pre-cut and prefabricated, which made this job so much easier. After all the wall boards were installed and secured, we installed the trusses that run across the sauna from one wall to the other. These attach using the hangers and galvanized screws provided in the kit. The screws are sized so they don't penetrate through the other side, so make sure you use the right ones so they don't poke through. After installing the two main cross braces, we installed the roof boards. These are pine ton and groove boards and they're very easy to install. You simply start on one side and work your way across using the nails provided in the kit. One thing I would do differently next time is use a nail gun. Hammering thousands of nails takes a lot of time and energy. I didn't have the proper nails for a nail gun and the nearest store was about 30 minutes drive one way, so we used what was provided in the kit. Next, we installed the fascia boards and interior corner boards. What these do is provide blocking for the soffit. We use the standard T25 screws, pre-cut the board lengths, and then install them. This was a very easy and straightforward step. The next step was installing the ceiling insulation inside the sauna. We used the foil-faced foam panels provided in the kit. We cut them to size, installed them, and then sealed every seam and corner with foil tape. This is important to prevent heat from escaping through cracks or seams, so you want to do a good job. After the foam boards were installed, we installed the 3/4 inch wooden fern strips. These create an air gap between the insulation and cedar ceiling boards. The air gap allows for ventilation and it also reduces direct heat transfer to the foam and adds another layer of insulation. After that, we installed the ton and groove cedar ceiling boards starting from one side and working our way across. Installing the window and the door unit was one of the easiest steps. Everything came pre-assembled. All we had to do is slide in the unit from the inside, shim it level, screw it in through the pre-drilled holes, and then install the wood plugs. Oh, by the way, we also used the spray foam provided in the kit to seal any gaps before installing the trim, and that's it. Next, we worked on the floor. Before installing the ton and groove boards, we did install the first strip inside the sauna. The kit does provide first strips just for the inside of the sauna room, not the changing room. And what this is for the proper drainage, because there is a drain on the right hand side. So what you do is you start with the bigger strip from the left from the window side and work your way down towards the drain. And what this step does is it tilts the boards a little bit on the angle. That way if there's any water, it would run down towards the drain and bleed out to the outside. To install the boards is fairly easy. I'm not going to go too deep into it. All you do is put the tongue towards the groove, pound it in, and you use the T20 screws that are provided in the kit to secure the boards correctly. Floor insulation did not come with the kit, but we decided to insulate it anyway. You see, in Alaska, temperatures can reach -40 or even -50 degrees, and we didn't want the cold air to be coming in through the floor. So we used 1-inch and 2-inch Artec foam insulation. We wanted to make sure that it's flush with the top to give it as thick insulation as possible before installing the ton and groove subfloor boards. This keeps the floor so much warmer and much more comfortable during the sauna use. Next, we installed the soffit boards, black ton and groove exterior trim boards, and all exterior corner trims. Don't forget to install the blue moisture tape as instructed in the instructions for interior and exterior corners before installing any outside trims. We trimmed off the access foam around the windows before installing trim to ensure everything was properly sealed. Next, we installed the front trim on the fascia and around the doors and windows. This is a straightforward step, cut to size and nail it in place. We started at the bottom and worked our way up the sides and installed the top pieces last. For all the trims inside and outside, I use a 16 gauge nail gun with galvanized nails. There's not much to say for this step. We drilled all the vent holes according to the instructions and installed the vent covers provided in the kit. Fairly easy step. Next, we worked on the roof. We installed the drip edge on the back of the sauna and started installing the rubber waterproof membrane. We skipped ahead on this step because we wanted to remove the round tarp balloon around the sauna, but before removing it, we wanted for all the adhesive, sealant, and silicone to properly cure. After the roof was finished, we finally took down the balloon tarp that you see in the video. Before applying the membrane completely, we sealed all the interior corners with silicone to prevent any potential moisture or condensation from entering the sauna. When working with the membrane adhesive, be very careful. This stuff is extremely tacky and strong. Once the membrane touches the adhesive, there is no room for mistakes. So make sure it's positioned correctly before laying it down. Next, we installed all the metal flashing around the roof to hold the membrane down and finish the edges. This step is very important. You don't want any gaps where water can get in and rot your wood out. Make sure all flashing overlaps correctly, especially on corners and difficult angles. I think I did a pretty good job, but there are definitely some great videos out there that show advanced flashing techniques. Just go on YouTube and watch videos about flashing. There are so many things you can learn about and use for this step. Next, we'll build the interior benches. This step is fairly easy, just follow the instructions. Most of the bench components are pre-made already, except for the pieces that attach to the wall. Those pieces, you need to cut them to size and install them on a specific height so the benches could actually work and sit properly. The benches are secured from underneath, so there are no visible screw holes. This is actually one of the things I really enjoyed about these benches, is there are no screw holes that are visible. Installing the top backrest, I picked my own height desired instead of following the instructions. For me personally, the height that was provided was a little too low, so I picked it up a little bit higher, and this way it works for tall and short people. Installing the wood stove is not fully explained in the instructions, but it is a fairly straightforward, easy process. If you're not comfortable doing this, I do recommend hiring a contractor or a professional to install the wood stove. It's worth the peace of mind. The most important part is cutting the correct hole through the ceiling and the roof for the chimney pipe. You need enough clearance so the pipe does not come into contact with the foam or the wood and possibly catch fire. I left about 2 inches of clearance all the way around, which was the maximum my trim piece allowed me and would cover. When installing the chimney flashing, make sure to use a high quality silicone that bonds well to the rubber membrane on that roof. The silicone provided in the kit had been exposed to freezing temperatures during the delivery and didn't cure properly, which caused the leak, so I did have to go back in the summertime and fix the issue. So if you do live in cold climates and your sauna kit is getting delivered in the winter time, I would recommend going to your local store and buying all the silicone and adhesive locally, because it has been frozen and is not good for use anymore. Next, we installed all the interior trim. Unfortunately, I didn't record this step, but it is fairly simple. We used quarter rounds and the interior corner trim pieces, cut them to the length on the chop saw, and installed them with the 16 gauge nailer. And just like that, the sauna is finally complete. It turned out so good, I'm definitely satisfied with the turnout. However, there are a few things I would do differently next time, but overall I'm happy with the kit, and if you ask me, I would definitely build another one of these again. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We got so much more content coming your way. See you guys soon.